Mic on.
Everybody, it is now. Yeah.
Hi, everybody. Okay, I'm sorry. I had to turn my mic on. Hi, everybody. Uh-oh. Welcome back to my channel, guys. My name is Shay, for all of you who do not know. Shout out to you guys for being here. Again, we are in the trial runs of what we have going on and how we're going to do this. So, again, bear with us. Thank you for being here. Don't forget to like this live, subscribe to the channel if you want, all of that good stuff. Excuse me. Let me see. Is this a good angle?
Yeah, you're great.
Okay. All right. So as you can see, guys, look at this. I love this. Yeah, you guys know I love eagles. Can you please go and tend to her, please? Um, our daughter was quiet this whole time, and now all of a sudden she wants to start wilding out. But anywho, look at this eagle. Okay, that's how you need to be. So tonight's live is going to be really good. We're again doing current topics and events, and there are a lot of them. Just close the door at this point. Um, so the enemy has been busy all week. I don't know if anybody else has dealt with that, but I hope that you guys endured. Um, let me see. Is nobody in the chat yet? Hi, Felicia. That's 407 Fee for Christ. That's Felicia. But anywho, where do we want to start?
Uh, I don't know. You just want to recap real quick of how things have been going since our last live, and then jump into it.
Recap as far as what?
Life in general, whatever.
I just said it. I'm sorry. When you were in the room with the baby, I talked about how the enemy has been busy all week, and it was like very subtly though, very subtly. Um, it's been little things here and there, and I hope that you all are passing the test because it's all a test. Like I literally just got tested right before I got on live, like what, a couple hours ago,
Yeah.
and through text message. This is why you can't allow everybody to have access to you. Your time, your efforts, your energy, your aura, your soul, the love that you give, all of that stuff is not for everybody. Okay, let's just be clear on that. And the enemy, he sends people to just subtly just, say little slick stuff and think you're not supposed to respond and all of these things. And it's just like, what are we doing here? Okay, so again, black people, everybody does not deserve access to you. Okay, stop giving what is holy unto dogs. Period. That's what the Bible's saying. Stop casting your pearls amongst the swine. Period. And a lot of times we used to hear those scriptures in church and never knew what it meant. But that's not for everybody. But when you're really putting in work and you're really trying to walk this thing out and you're really trying to do right and live right because you want to hear servant well done, then you're going to get these attacks. Okay, those scriptures mean the most to those who are walking this thing out for his glory, for the glory of God. So hi Jennifer. So yeah, we're going to be doing current events and topics. Actually, I think I do want to start with CJ husband.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Now, if y'all don't think that this world is trying to, in the media, is trying to push God out of America, and they do it quietly, I want you to take a look at this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I might have to turn the volume up. Hold on. If I can find the remote. See, this is all new. The remote was right next to me, and now it's gone.
Wait, so you have to use the TV remote?
Yeah, they can't
Oh,
hear it through here, through the phone,
through the computer.
through the computer. I not. Where did the remote go?
It literally was just right there. It must be in the couch.
It was right next to me.
Are you kidding me right now?
Hold
There
on,
it is.
y'all. Here we go.
All right, he found it, guys. Sorry.
Okay, let's turn it
All
up
right.
for you guys.
Your first NFL season and a been amazing being in this city for as short as I've been. First and foremost, I just want to give all glory and praise to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. I mean, it's been amazing.
Now,
Okay.
let's play it again real quick, because the first, and let's explain what we're looking at.
Right.
The first one that you see is
The first one that you see is the original version.
no. The first one you see is the edited version.
On this side?
Yes, on the right hand
On
side.
the right hand side. Okay.
That's the edited version of what they're playing for everybody
On TV.
on
They
TV.
edited it. Yeah.
The left side is the live version.
The original version.
Correct.
Okay.
In your first NFL season and a record-setting performance for you, what does this moment mean?
I mean, it's been amazing being in this city for as short as I've been. First and foremost, I just want to give all glory and praise to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. I mean, it's been amazing.
Wow. Wow. Okay, so my husband and I, we saw this a couple weeks ago. And first of all, CJ Stroud, shout out to him. You guys know I'm a very big football fan. Very proud of him. And number one, I'm even more proud that he's on a huge platform, one of the biggest platforms you could ever be on, and talking about Jesus Christ. And here you are, Christian. In your everyday life, people don't even know you a Christian because you walk around nasty, having an attitude, always mean, and being rude to people. So, when is the last time you told people that you were a Christian? When is the last time, your family members looked at you and said, hey, you're not going to drink? Because they know you don't drink. You know what I'm saying? Like, when was the last time, there was evidence that you were a Christian? And so, again, he's on this big, huge platform with all of these people. And they edited out the part about Jesus Christ. What does that tell you? That should tell you that Jesus is the Christ, period. There is no other God besides him. So a lot of people be like, oh, they living in a truth. Oh, this is just, the generation of living in your truth. His truth, her truth, my truth, your truth. None of our truths matter. Okay. The Bible says what? He is the way, the truth, and the life. Like, besides him, there is none. You won't get to the Father except through him. He is the truth. So a lot of people get caught up on this, oh, I'm living in my truth. Baby, when you get to the other side of life and you transition over into the spiritual realm, you're going to stand in a court. I'm speaking prophetically. And you're going to be on trial for every last thing that you did in this life. And guess what? Your truth don't matter. Your truth is not going to get you into the kingdom of heaven and into his glory. Your truth does not matter. Baby, what you make up on this earth and what your truth is, it does not matter. The only thing that matters is that Jesus Christ is the truth.
Here's the real problem. Here's the real issue.
Mm-hmm.
That in the media, if he would have said anything else,
oh, they would have left it,
that the media thrives on, that would have been played. So, do you know how hard it is to be a young man in that league and just be successful alone? Then know that the people around you aren't pushing up your agenda. They're trying to push it down. So you make it a point every day. Because I don't know if you know this about CJ Stroud, but he is a super Christian. Like, everything that you can look up on this boy, you could tell he was raised correctly. You could tell he was raised in the church. So anytime they get him on an interview, anytime he's anything, that is the face of Houston Texans franchise. He gets on TV and says, I want to give thanks to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
Amen.
And right then and there, they click. They know they're not playing that. They would rather have him not say it.
Of course.
And then they play the rest after that. They literally left it out because just in case people go, oh, I don't want to hear this Christian stuff again. Why are they always playing this Christian stuff? Why do they always say something about God? But if he said, I just want to take time out to give a shout out to all the GAY people in the world.
Oh, they would have left that.
That would have been left. And not only would have been left, it would have been on every single magazine front page. It would have been on every single website, every single magazine, every single newspaper, anything you would have saw. 100%. He would have been trending on Twitter, and they would have pushed that to no end.
100%.
That's where we're at. Don't expect for God, Jesus, anything. No, nobody can see him at all.
Oh, I don't want him knocking us over.
I know. I'm just saying. We were talking about the dog. Dogs wandering around. So you can't. You have to go out and try to find these things out on your own. You have to be seeking God. You have to be looking for it. Don't expect it to be pushed in front of you.
Or if he said he wanted to thank Allah, it wouldn't even be a thing.
No, they would. I think they would have. I think they would.
You think they would have took that out too? Because I don't.
I think anything. See, because they equate. The media equates. I don't care if you use God, Jesus, Allah, whatever. Any of those that they equate as God, that it's gonna go. If it's not TRANS, if it's not GAY, if it's not any of those,
if it's not their
things,
God,
yes, they won't want anything to do with it.
Wow. Yeah. And that's crazy to me, like very crazy.
In all these things right now that are, so right before this, before we got on, I jumped on Twitter real quick to check the scores of some basketball games, and it's the Grammys tonight.
Oh, is it?
And if you look and see these pictures of all of these people,
oh my gosh,
it used to be something where you went and, I kind of blame Jennifer Lopez with that dress back in the day. She wore that dress. She wore that dress and it all went downhill because now women think they have to dress half naked.
Yeah.
Literally.
But wait, I am so sorry. After you say what you need to say, I want to get back on football.
No, go ahead. You can go.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
You sure?
I'm not stuck on this idea. Just go. I'm not stuck on this.
Okay. Don't forget your thought though, because I'll forget my thought. And I want to say this. While we're talking about CJ Stroud and the NFL, we're talking about football. I want to get on the topic because Megan and I were talking about this, about football, right? Because a lot of people are being sat down in this season, okay? And what football has taught me is that you could be up all season. You could have a perfect record like the Eagles, right? The Eagles had a 10?
No, they didn't.
At the end, they tanked. But during the season, they had a really good record. They didn't? The Eagles.
I mean, it was good enough.
Until they started going down. Wasn't they at like 10-2 at one point? 10
last
wins,
year, yeah.
2 losses. Was that
last
wasn't
year.
this season?
Last year.
Okay. But you can have a great record all season long. And at the end of the season, it could just be over just like this. Boom. So what I learned about that and the revelation that we got about that is that you could be up. You could be doing your best. You could be in the pulpits. You could be, the best Christian ever. And then all of a sudden, your record just plummets. And the next thing you know, you're out of the game. You out of the playoffs. The coach done sat you down. You done got traded in the off season. You done got took out. You know what I mean? Like you done got benched. And that's exactly what God is doing in the spiritual realm. He's sitting people down. He's taking people out of the game. It's people getting traded to the other teams. And he's making it very clear that there is a distinction between his people, the wheat, and those tares. The tares, they look like wheat, but they are not of him. And he's making a clear distinction between the two. Okay, so it's some people, some pastors, some in your life, it's some people who call themselves Christian that are being sat down, traded, dismissed, fired, exposed, all of these things. So I just wanted to say that while we're on the topic of football, you could have a perfect record. You could be the perfect Christian one season. Okay, the next season, boom, you're done. Okay, period.
And here, let's go to this real quick. Okay. Let's deviate. Watch this, guys.
Okay. Oh. Okay, I don't even know. I gotta watch it on the phone with them. What we doing?
Look at this. Just because you think that somebody's living a perfect life and you're seeing things that the media and everybody and what they want you to see, look at this.
Mm.
Patrick Mahomes' father arrested on DWI charges in Texas.
What?
And this isn't his first DWI. This is his third. So while you're looking at
What?
you're looking at Taylor Swift and you're looking at it, listen, what this young man managed to accomplish on his own, because the sins of the father sometimes very often fall on the son on
Every time.
accident.
That's his dad?
Yeah, that's his dad. His dad played in the major leagues. He was a major league player. Yeah.
What?
Yep, and was good too. And here we are, looking at his mugshot for a DUI.
It's an ad.
Is this an ad? Oh, I thought that was something you had pulled up.
Could you go back to his dad?
His dad? Yeah.
Because why is it? I wanted to see.
Now, guys, listen. I'm
what it
just
said
clicking on
there.
anything here. I'll use ESPN. And if you don't think for 1 second that this impacted young Patrick Mahomes,
100%.
it absolutely did. If you don't think that alcohol played a huge part in his upbringing,
Absolutely.
it 100% did.
He probably does not touch
The father
alcohol.
of Kansas City Chiefs star quarterback Patrick Mahomes was arrested Saturday night in Tyler, Texas on suspicion of driving while intoxicated, according to the online jail records. Patrick Mahomes Sr., 54, is facing charges of driving while intoxicated, third or more, with his bond being set at $10,000. Now, he probably is already out.
Whoa.
Yeah, he was released from Smith County Jail on Sunday afternoon. The charge is a third-degree felony and carries a sentence of up to 10 years in prison if convicted. Now,
Oh my goodness.
he won't do any jail time because his son is Patrick Mahomes. And
Right.
when you have that type of money, you can hire that type of lawyer, and that
Right.
type of lawyer can get you to walk.
Right.
Very simply.
Right.
But what I'm saying to you is, first of all, you think that Patrick Mahomes needs all this garbage around him right before one of the
No.
biggest games of his life?
Absolutely not.
Second, you don't think that for 1 second that this had something to do with his upbringing, why he is the way he is right now? Who
An
he's become?
overachiever. Yeah.
What he's become?
Mm-hmm.
It absolutely 100% did.
Mm-hmm.
My father was an alcoholic.
Mm-hmm.
As if most fathers back in
Mhm.
those days
Mhm.
were alcoholics. They were just functioning alcoholics. They managed to get up every day and they managed to go
Go to work.
and raise a family. But best believe, by the end of the night, they were all knocked down drunk.
Hammered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it took me, I don't drink, not a drop, not a
Nope.
sip. I don't think my wife's ever seen
Never
me
seen him do it.
drink at all, because while I was on my road to alcoholism, something happened and I was a very, very nasty drunk. I would get drunk and want to fight everyone. And it would be okay if I was, didn't know what I was doing, but because I actually knew what I was doing, it became a real bad situation.
Mm-hmm.
Because I would look for the biggest person I could possibly find and start an issue. And then the next thing you know, I'm getting tossed out of whatever clubs I'm in, and
Yeah.
it got to the point where I said, okay, I can't do this anymore and I have to stop. And luckily for me, I had something happen to me, but a lot of times sins of the father falls on the son.
100%.
Patrick Mahomes was able to take that sin and turn his into something different. Don't think there's not addiction behaviors in greatness.
Absolutely.
They're 1,000%. Listen,
Talk about it. Let's
let
talk
me
about
tell
the
you guys-
addictive behavior.
let me tell you guys something. And my wife will attest to this.
Mm-hmm.
I am an addict.
Mm-hmm.
I can sit up here and I can tell you all the God's honest truth, and I will never sit up here and pretend to be something I'm not for you guys.
Right.
I am an addict.
Right.
I am addicted to having things perfect. If it's not exactly the way I need it, the way I see it in my mind.
You just did it.
I just did it
With
not
the
that long
TV.
ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't not have it all the way where I need it to be, where it'll bother me so much inside. It's almost like there's something eating me inside, where I can't sleep. I toss and turn over it, and it could be the smallest things that you guys would never even realize, or you'd be like, really, that's what you're tripping over? And to me, it's the biggest thing in the world. Very successful people have to have addictions. You need the thing that you're successful in to be your drug, and you are totally and 100% consumed by it. So when you see these people and they're very successful, know that there's marriages that are broken behind it.
Yep.
I almost lost my wife over it, because I was so caught up. Now, we told you guys 100 times that we were in a very bad situation at one point financially, and I had gotten myself addicted to getting us out of it. And I was ignoring everything else around me
Wow.
and focusing in on getting us out of the situation. And when my wife and I would argue about it, I would say, "What are you talking about? I'm just trying to get us out of this mess. I'm down here working, trying to get us out of it." When you see successful people, Elon Musk, any president that you know of, and I'm talking Tom Brady, the president of the United States, every president of every company that you could ever think of, that guy that you think, or that guy and or female that you think is, rich, there's a child that missed tons of time with this parent. There are broken marriages behind it, because it doesn't have to be a drug or a pill or a drink to have you addicted.
It could be food.
It could be food.
It could be attention.
Yeah, it could be attention. I am a 100% addict. There are things I stay away from because I know if I start them, I'll get addicted to them.
That's crazy.
I don't
He is
golf.
very much like that.
I don't golf because I know that if I did, I would love it.
Yep.
And then my wife would never see me again. Like, and all my money would go to it. Like, it cut off. So just know that when you guys are seeing all these things, know that there's addictive behaviors in there, and be very careful who you're admiring and what you're admiring them about. Admire somebody that's a great father. Admire somebody that's a great mother. Admire somebody that's an amazing wife. Admire somebody that gets to church, even though they're flawed, they're there trying to improve themselves. Admire yourself for trying to make the changes to lead a better life.
Absolutely. That's very dope. So, do you feel like everyone has addictive behaviors?
We are all addictive. We all have addict tendencies. But it's how far you can take them, and what your willpower is, and how healthy your addiction is. Is your addiction? I believe now my addiction is healthy. I know that, like, when my son comes and wants to play with me, I know I have to drop what I'm doing and go play with him. When my wife calls me, no matter how ridiculous, whatever it is, listen, y'all, let me tell you something. Speaking of which, let's deviate from this for a second and tell you how my wife aggravates me. Do you know she called me in the other day while I was in the middle of work just to tell me, "Come here, husband, watch this on this." It was the dumbest thing. She called me in here, stopped me from working to watch the dumbest thing you've ever seen in your life, and go, "You don't think that's funny?"
I'm crying. I'm crying laughing. And when I say he just had a straight face, but like, our humors are 100% different. Like, the stuff he be cracking up laughing, I just be like, what is this? And why is this funny to you? And the stuff that I think is funny is just Like
the
not
dumbest
funny
stuff
at
in the
all.
world. She also has horrible taste in music, but that's neither here nor there. Anyway, back to what I was saying.
Addiction.
Shots fired.
Whatever.
Addiction. So we all have that addict in us. We all have that thing that and only you know what it is. My wife knows what mine are because she witnesses them. But I have an extremely addictive personality.
Spazin
Listen.
told me to marry you.
Well, you made a good choice.
She told me to marry you, or he.
No,
this gotta be a girl.
It's so easy for me to get addicted. Do you know that, y'all? Listen, this is gonna be ridiculous. This is gonna sound stupid, but I'm addicted to apple cider
and energy drinks. Every day. Yep.
I can slam energy drinks and fall right to sleep. It used to be my addiction changes. Okay. And listen, you all of us have to be as honest as I am with ourselves. If you don't want to be honest with the outside world about your addiction, because I sometimes it can be embarrassing to admit it. I unfortunately have no shame in certain departments, so I'll admit mine to y'all. But it can be embarrassing.
Yeah.
It can
100%.
It can be shameful.
Yep.
Some of our addictions are pretty serious. So I'm gonna name a few of my addictions right now to let you guys know that I am just like everybody else. My addictions change from time to time. So I have to eat sweet stuff before bed every night, and it'll switch. For a couple months, it'll be cookies. And it can't be any cookies. It has to be homemade cookies. So my wife is in the kitchen, God bless her soul, baking me dozens of cookies that I inhale by the end of the night. She'll make me 3-4 dozen, and by the morning time, she's like, "Hey, where are all the cookies?" And I got crumbs all over my face going, "I don't know."
It's
like
true.
a big dummy.
It's true.
Then it'll go from cookies to cereal. Then a certain type of cereal.
It
then
has to be, yep.
3 months later, it'll change different types of cereal, but it's still cereal. Then it'll change from that to chocolate bars. I was eating bags of Hershey chocolate chips for months. I'd eat a bag a night.
Yep.
Okay, these are my addictions. I'm addicted to apple cider, hot apple cider. I go through boxes of them. I'm addicted to my job.
You're addicted to working.
I'm addicted to work.
Running our business.
I've luckily figured out the balance that's healthy for us, where my wife doesn't feel like I'm ignoring her, but it's very much a problem. Like I can't not think about it. I dream about it. I wake up in the middle of the night thinking about it. I
can't sleep because you're thinking
can't
about
sleep about it. As soon as I wake up, it's the first thing. And this is crackhead tendencies.
It is.
Like I wake up in the morning, it's the first thing I think of. I go to bed at night, it's the last thing I think of. Like in my mind works differently than a lot of yours. I can think of 8 different things all at once. Like I cycle them through my brain. So I'll be thinking about my wife, my children, their school, work, whatever else it is I got going on. And that is an addict's brain.
Really?
Yes. You're not like that. You are very black and white of what it is. I'm not like that.
Okay, so basically what you're saying is that you took your father's addictive behaviors
and turned them into my own.
All of your siblings are like that too.
They're all addicts in some way.
Extremely successful.
Yes, extremely successful addicts.
Yeah. Because of it. Extremely successful, and they just turn it and use it for good. So you took your father's addictive behaviors traits, and you all, made it a positive. Now, correct. Some children, it could either backfire. Now, this is where we get generational curses from, right? Because parents, parents can have these addictions, and then the children have had these addictions or whatever. What happened?
The stupid thing pulled up. Oh, listen to this, y'all. I just figured out how to make a poll on here while you're talking.
What?
Yeah.
It says YouTube has stopped.
What? It's recording.
Is it?
Yeah.
What is happening right now? Anywho,
The wire.
I'm sorry. Sorry, guys. Again, we're working on it.
Yeah, we're getting it together.
Look,
y'all.
we're working on it. But anyway, so some children, they see their parents and they're addicts, and they either say, or they either say, I'm never, if their father is alcoholic, I'm never drinking, and they'll stick to that. They will never touch alcohol ever. Or life happens and then they turn into an alcoholic.
Out of curiosity, how many of you guys, how many of y'all, I should have did this poll. How many of y'all, just say me, grew up and a parent had addictive behaviors that you think ended up coming on you? Like it jumped on you.
Do you think that I have addictive behaviors?
No, you have other things.
Yeah, I have other
You
issues.
have other issues, and
Yeah.
addiction isn't one of them.
Yeah, no. So do you want to go to the next topic? Go to the first one. Ruckersville. That's the one. That's what I want to start with. Ruckersville.
Okay, let me see.
Because let me tell y'all this. All I had to type in was pastor arrested. And when I say there was a plethora, and I've seen plethora of pastors and their mugshots, and it was crazy. Like, and guess what? Guess what they majority of them were booked for?
Besides pedophilia, all sorts of sex crimes.
Sex crimes. Sexual crazy crimes and addictions. Again, look, just like, when do we as the people of God say enough is enough?
Do you want to hear something wild about sex crimes and pastors?
What?
You know, the Catholic Church it prohibits their priests from getting married.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you know that they are now, this new pope is now saying it's okay to be gay? You can still get into heaven if you're gay, but yet still won't let the priests marry
women.
What? This is how crazy the Catholic Church is.
That's because they're not Christians. Like, they're not followers of Christ. Number one, don't you have to pray to Mary or something?
She's an intercessor. It's a little different. It's, I wouldn't go just towards that. I would look into the more of the confessions and the penance behind the confessions.
Yeah, it sounds like rituals, doesn't it?
Yeah, there is a lot of rituals in the Catholic Church.
Yeah, lighting candles.
But there's also a lot of pedophilia within the Catholic Church.
Exactly.
So I was an altar boy.
Oh Lord.
In the Catholic Church. Well, hold on. Let me get through this. So my father found out that I was picked. So when you're going for confirmation, your class each has to do it. Everybody in your class has to do it while you're going to be confirmed. And
that's crazy.
My father found out that I was going to be the altar boy that day. And my father put a stop to it immediately because my father had gone through these things. My father had gone through it, and he said that it used to be funny. They used to joke about it. I never saw my.
They used to joke about what?
So they used to joke about the pastors touching the boys. So they would make,
like, they didn't believe it?
No, they believed it. So I remember I never saw my father so angry with me as a child when I was arguing with him about I was arguing because he didn't want me to. He went and talked to the priest and told him there was no way I was going to be an altar boy.
Mm-hmm.
And I was embarrassed because I'm like, Dad, all the other kids are. I'm the only one that's not. And he said, let me tell you something. We used to make jokes about being caught by the priest and getting touched by one of the priests. It was like, Jimmy's alone with him, so best believe he's the odd man out. He's got to deal with it today. And that's just the way it was back then. And then when
it's been going on forever,
they would get in trouble, they would just be transferred to another parish, and then you would never see him again.
You know why they do that?
Yeah,
The Catholic Church.
Yeah, it's because the church wouldn't exist if they were sued for the amount of times that they had did it. So instead, they push it down, be quiet, and keep their head down and keep it moving.
That's how they worship their God. Catholicism is not Christianity. Catholicism has nothing to do with Jesus Christ. Nothing. When they touch the boys and that's a ritual, okay? And it's worshiping Satan. He gets glory from that. God does not.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
Anytime there is a sexual immorality, God does not get glory for that. Satan does. So when you have two men hunching on each other, who's getting glory from that? Not God. Satan does.
Right.
And, when you see all of these pastors touching all over these kids and doing all this crazy, wild stuff, Satan gets glory from that. That's why it keeps happening repeatedly. That's why you keep seeing, all you got to do is type in pastor arrested. You're going to see Satan getting glory out of all of these people's lives. God don't have nothing to do with that. And God keeps letting it known. These folks, I don't have no part in this. This is not me. I don't know these people. I don't know them.
Right.
They pastors. Pastoring what? They ain't pastoring my sheep. I don't know them.
Right.
Many of them say to me, Lord, Lord, I did this in your name, that in your name.
Right.
Catholics gonna bust hell wide open.
Very true.
They gonna bust hell wide open. They gonna say, we had mass in your name every Wednesday.
Yeah.
He gonna say, I don't know you. I don't know you. Who are you? You didn't pray to me. You was praying to Mary and them.
So do you think if these pastors weren't pastors, they would be in such such predators?
100%.
You think they would be predators regardless?
Yeah, no matter what they were. They would find a way to be a predator. They'd be teachers. They'd be whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Wherever some children is, at the age that they like, at the age that Satan has convinced them that they like, they will find their way into there.
See, I look at it as they do this because they're pastors. Why is this? This is why they do it.
They think they're invincible.
It's the power behind it. It's always the power behind it. It's the power dynamics. And feeling like they can get away with it because they are pastors, and that's why they do it.
See,
let's take a look at this scumbag's picture. This is him. He looks it. Anyone who has kids who attended events at Victory Church is urged to have a conversation with their child. That's scary.
Who is he? What's his name? I wrote it down on the paper for you.
His name is, let's read the paper.
Number 1.
Marcus Turner.
Marcus Turner.
Accused of molesting a 50-year-old church member.
A 15?
15.
I thought it was 13 to 14. No,
it says 15-year-old.
No. That's not Marcus Turner. Number 1.
Number 1. Rodney Locklear, pastor of Victory Church, charged with abduction with intent to defile and aggravated sexual battery. Victim was 13 to 14 years old with force. These people, let's take a look at him. Look at him.
And this is who Christians and Christians got the audacity to attack me in the comments when I rebuke certain people.
No.
And rebuke things that is not of Christ. These is the same Christians that would have defended him had I did a rebuke video on him.
Yeah, no.
The same Christians. Yep. But this is what y'all allow in these churches. But got an attitude.
Right. Want to call people out that are actually living the way they're supposed to and saying the things that they're supposed to say, but have an attitude about when stuff like this is going on in their church.
And they just turn the blind eye to it. Where is y'all discernment? Because first of all, if your pastor is doing this, what are you doing?
Yeah, take a good hard look at this man, because this man could easily be in your church.
100%.
And have and have discussions with your children about the people in the church.
100%.
Let them know, because some people go into church thinking everybody's holy.
Right. I
When,
was one of them.
listen, church is a place for sick people. It ain't a place for healthy people. And you need to have a talk with your children, because children have a very skewed view of the church, and let them know, listen, these people aren't here because they're good people. Yes, they might, be okay, and they might be fine.
They dance around.
There are people that are very sick, and they're here to try to get cured. So stay away.
Or make you sick.
Right.
In the process.
Yep. Oh, please, you best believe that, because it's very easy to get caught up there, and because hurt people.
Absolutely. 100%.
And then the next thing you know, but please have a conversation with your children.
And stop defending these pastors. Stop being in idolatry. This is why the Bible say that. Flee. The Bible says to flee idolatry. Flee. Because I'm pretty sure that this right here, this headline, well, what is his name?
Yep.
Whoever he is.
Rodney Locklear.
Listen, I know that this broke some people's hearts when he got arrested.
Absolutely.
Some of his churchgoers who idolize this
so
man,
many people were probably heartbroken behind it.
Like, y'all gotta get out of idolatry. You better get in the face of Christ. You better get on your knees and start praying. You better get yourself a prayer life. You better get into your word. You better get into living right. You better get into walking this thing out for yourself, because God is showing you, I tear idols down. The big God says that. He's like, I don't play around with idols. Every idol in your life, if you called and I love you, then guess what? Every idol is coming down.
Yep.
I just talked about this. A lot of women, we deal with this. Oh, sorry. A lot of women, we deal with this. Where if we're dealing with the wrong man, God don't play that.
Oh.
It ain't gonna work. He gonna keep on breaking your heart, keep walking over you, keep wasting all of your years. Listen, he's gonna keep on abusing you until you say enough is enough. Until it gets so bad where you're like, okay, God, I have to walk away. Or God makes him walk away from you because you're too I don't want to say slow, but
stubborn.
You're too, you're stuck in your ways.
Dick-headed.
You want what you want. Yeah, you want what you want. And if he ain't for you, then God's gonna tear that idol down. Period.
Be very, very, very careful about who you're putting your faith in.
Absolutely. So we go to church, and our kids don't go to church, children's church.
No, absolutely not.
Oh no, I don't know them. I don't know them people. And first of all, another thing, I don't know them kids. Because make no mistake, kids are sent on assignment.
Absolutely.
To touch and fondle and do things. No. And I'm speaking from experience with that. Like, no. Kids are on assignment too. And they don't even know it. Absolutely. They just doing what they were taught, and they don't know any better.
Yep.
But it's your job to protect your children, to cover them in prayer.
Yep.
Cover your children in the blood of Jesus. Because it's rough out here. It's hard out here. Okay. Yep. So yeah, this pastor, dead wrong. You ain't no pastor. You ain't pastoring nothing. People just do this just so they can be sick.
Yep.
Just so they can carry out their sick little twisted
fantasies.
Yeah, like, bro, come on now. All right, you want to go to the next one?
All right, next one.
This one was big. This is Mr. I think it's a video to watch too. If you want to turn up the
we
TV.
Sure can. Let's expose all these degenerates.
Oh, I thought you was about to say a bad word. Don't say
see? Everybody thinks the worst of me. I can control my mouth.
We can unlock endless targeting potential. Now, Spot
Hold on, guys. It's an ad.
But where's the ad so I can X out of it?
I don't know. Try to mute it.
Okay, that should work.
Guys.
Police have charged him with 4 counts of child molestation for his alleged encounters with a 15-year-old boy who also attends the church. Fox 5's Lily Proctor has the disturbing story from Cobb County.
Cobb police tell me they arrested Marcus Turner on October 6th of this year. A spokesperson for Worship with Wonders tells me that Turner's leadership role as director of operations ended in December of 2021.
That Jesus is real, that Jesus is alive, that Jesus is working on my behalf.
Well, Marcus Turner, from First Appearances, he's such a friendly, nice guy.
But Cobb County Police have arrested the 32-year-old Worship with Wonders former director of operations and charged him with 4 counts of child molestation for his alleged encounter with a 15-year-old male church member. April Nelson is a former director of children's ministry for the growing church. She says she was flabbergasted by the arrest.
When I saw the mugshot, I didn't even have words. It was almost unbelievable because he is the face of Worship with Wonders. To find out not only were these children, but little boys.
Ms. Nelson says she and her husband left the church because they didn't agree with what
make my
she
flesh
claims
go up.
was an anti-LGBTQ message that she says Turner and the pastors espoused. Church leaders Miles and Delana Rutherford released a letter to Fox 5 and the congregation saying they went to police with information about Turner and the alleged victim, who they say are both church members. In their statement, the Rutherfords say they would never tolerate or condone any sexual immoral actions in their church. Ms. Nelson, who is a mother of 4, says her attention now has turned to other teens or children who may have encountered suspect Turner.
My concern is that there are more victims.
Okay, that made me mad. Ooh, okay, breathe. Okay, first of all, where do I start? Let's start with Miles and his wife, Rutherford. I actually love Miles Rutherford. He preaches the unadulterated word of truth. And I follow him on Instagram. And I had no idea that this was even his church. I found out online. But this broke the internet, I want to say last week. And someone sent it to me. And Miles Rutherford, he always talks about the LGBT community. He has a very much similar stance on this topic as I do, which is we stand on Christ. Like, okay, if you're struggling in that area, that's fine. You're not supposed to stay like that though. And guess what? Don't expect me to conform to how you feel and what your truth is. No. We're not doing that. We only conform to the word of God and his truth, period. And so Miles Rutherford, he stands on that, and I respect that. I always repost him on Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram, go follow me on Instagram, at Speaker Voice 2. But anywho, this is crazy. So apparently he was the worship leader. What do it say? Or church leader or whatever. Yep. But first of all, how you can't see that spirit on him? He's got 30 earrings in his ear.
Right.
He got the same amount of earrings as me. What man is doing that?
0.
That's number one. And then y'all can't see this spirit. Like, I'm a very spiritual person, so I can see spirits, right? Not like, oh, I'm sitting here and I can see somebody's dead grandmother. No, that's divination. I've never ever encountered that. But when I encounter people, I'm able to see what spirit people are operating out of.
Yep.
Every single time without fail. I can sometimes. Never mind.
Paul Bunyan says, I go in thinking everyone is a little kooky. That's the way to do it. That's me. That is exactly who I am. I go into every situation thinking that everybody's got an issue here. Yeah. I just got to figure out what said issue is. And it takes me about, 5 minutes to pin you down and know exactly what you're about.
Right. I lost my train of thought because you cut me off.
No, hon,
what was I talking
about?
I
cut you off on was exactly on your point.
What was I talking about though?
Now I'm drawing a blank because you said that.
Anywho, it's wrong.
Yes.
This is a disgusting mess.
Oh, discernment.
Discernment.
That's what you were talking about. Yeah. That's why I said that.
Somebody should have been able to discern this spirit. because
Yeah.
he actually was speaking against, sexual immorality in the pulpit. Go figure the irony.
Right.
I saw the video of him preaching, and he's like, and God said, male and female, and blah, 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 blah. But, sir, see, prime example of being hypocritical. And God said, no. That's not what we're doing.
Yeah.
God said, expose.
Yeah.
And God is ripping the covers off of this type of foolishness, especially when you come in his name. You can't come in his name and think you just could just live however you want to live. That's why I tell y'all all the time, when you think that you're running your mouth for Christ, you better have all your ducks in a row as best as you know how.
Yeah.
Because if you thinking you going to talk and speak for Christ and then still be doing what you want to do, that's not how he works. And I speak from experience. I can't just do whatever I want to do.
Yeah.
I can't just say whatever I want to my husband and my kids.
No.
I can't just do and say and be wherever I want to be. No.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And so you have to have all your ducks in a row. So anything and anybody that's not operating the Holy Spirit, exposed.
I don't understand what people are thinking when they go into these situations and it's smacking them right in the face, but yet they still just allow it to happen in their lives.
You know what? Some people have no self-control. And when you don't have self-control, you don't have the Holy Spirit. When you don't have the Holy Spirit, you don't need to be in nobody's pulpit.
Yeah.
Like, what you mean you going to jail for a sex crime? Like, hold on, bruh, pastor. Hold up.
What you mean you drinking?
What you mean you drinking? What you mean?
What you mean you smoking weed?
Hold on, pause. Because I typed in pastor arrested, and it was a pastor that got arrested for brawling. Like, he was out there throwing hands.
Well, listen.
I mean, for a cause.
For a cause. you know.
Listen.
It's understandable.
Right.
Make no mistake,
I get it.
If I'm a pastor and you insult my wife or you do something to my wife, oh, we're fighting.
Yes, it's on.
Yeah, you're fighting. You do something to my
Flesh
kids,
gotta raise up.
you fight, we fight.
Yeah.
And right there in the church if need be.
What was another one I saw? I saw that a pastor, he got arrested because he threw or tried to throw his wife's co-worker inside of McDonald's grease.
Oh, good gracious. Now that's some, whoa. Can I bring up something
like,
to you? Can we talk about something real quick? Touch on a touchy subject, maybe? Okay. I see this a lot in the black churches.
Okay.
They treat these pastors as if they're a tier down from God.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all be throwing these big, huge, elaborate celebrations, birthday parties and anniversaries. And come on, what's the next?
Pastor anniversary, church anniversary, convocation.
We bought him a new. There's a church. There was a church that bought their pastor a brand new Cadillac because that's what he wanted for his anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be, but yet the vast majority of these churches are walking. Mm-hmm. These people, this congregation are. If you can pool your money together and buy him a $55,000 car. How many $5,000 cars is that?
Okay, for every last one of y'all.
How many $2,500 cars is that? And what really kills me is,
don't say that.
Okay, what really blows me away is these people are the same people that are given the most money.
Yep.
No financial discipline.
Come on. None.
I don't have a car, but pastor, he needs one.
It's idolatry.
He needs a brand new one.
It's idolatry. That's what it is. And of course, pastors aren't going to preach on idolatry because they like the fact that the people in their congregations idolize them. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, they love it. Why would they preach on idolatry? I didn't learn about idolatry until I came out of church. And the Lord began to teach me in his word. What are these things? And then I had to Google this stuff. Idolatry. What am I revilers. I'm Googling all of these things that will not inherit the kingdom. And I had to, this is talking, revilers is talking about people that verbally abuse other people. I know tons of them.
Yep.
Right in church. They go to church every Sunday.
Yep.
And they real wicked with that tongue.
Right.
So it's like, okay, why aren't we talking about these things?
Right.
You know, and I've never heard anybody talk about idolatry in the pulpit. That I've gone to a church, and you've gone to plenty churches with me, and you ain't never heard it either.
Nope. Never, not once.
You ain't never heard it.
So the moral of this story is to use your discernment on everybody that is in that building.
100%.
No matter if they're in the pulpit, standing next to the pulpit, in the first row, in the second row. How about rows 1 through 5? Okay? Rows 1 through 5, keep an extra close eye on those people.
Yep.
I'm going to go even further. Rows 5 all the way to the wall on the opposite side of them. Okay? Wherever they're looking straight at, you look from row 5 all the way up. And you keep an extra close eye on them, because those are the people that are making decisions that affect you.
Mm-hmm.
And if they are not making the correct decisions that are filling you up properly, you need to go find another place to get fed.
Yep.
If they are not preaching the things of God, you need to get up, walk out, and not come back. Your problem is your comfort has now super glued you to a seat that you do not belong in.
Yep. And a lot of people don't know what is what. Like, they don't know what's right and what's wrong. They don't read their
you
word.
do know what's right and what's wrong, because I'll tell you what, I didn't read the word. I was fresh in church with you, and I knew some things that were being said were dead wrong.
Yep.
I knew it. I knew in my head, common sense told me, this just sounds funny. We got to throw money down at your feet? This just sounds funny.
Yep.
You shaming people to give money? This just sounds wrong.
Yep.
You allowing X, Y, and Z to go down? This just don't sound right. But comfort allows people to stay in there, because it's hard to go to a new church. People you don't know,
It is.
going into
Yep.
situations you don't know. It's hard.
Did that just die?
No.
Oh.
And people don't want to go and do it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, on to the next.
It's a fact. Okay,
This next
is the
one's a
last
really,
topic.
really good one, y'all. If I can get to it, because the little now, where in the world did the thing go?
Is your phone on?
Yeah.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
You ain't had to block nobody?
No.
Oh, okay. All right, so the last topic.
So because of this web page is taking forever to load, because it's running all sorts of ads in the back.
Yeah, what is that about?
It's a bad website, or this Fox 5 is trying to give you extra advertisements.
I thought so. I'm sorry. It's my fault. I picked all the topics.
Here's the next one.
Okay.
If it'll X out. Now it won't. Now it's froze because of those stupid ads.
Oh, you know what? What was another thing that I wanted to talk about?
Here we go.
Okay, I'm going to think about it while we talk about it.
U.S. man faces hate crime over damage to satanic temple display in Iowa. A man who has admitted to damaging a controversial satanic temple holiday display in the Iowa Capitol. Folks, this is in the Capitol building in Iowa. The
That's
very
sick.
place that laws are made that affect people's life.
They have a satanic...
is now facing serious hate crime charges.
They have a satanic altar?
Yes.
At a Capitol?
In the Capitol. So they allowed... Okay, let me read this first and I'll explain it to you.
Okay.
Michael Cassidy, 35, an ex-Navy pilot who lost a race for Mississippi legislature last year, was motivated by the victim's religion, prosecutors say. On Tuesday, he was charged with third-degree criminal mischief in violation of an individual's rights, a hate crime. Mr. Cassidy has already raised $110,000 for his legal defense. In a statement, the Polk County Prosecutor's Office said that Mr. Cassidy dismantled the Baphomet altar on the 14th of December, 10 days before Christmas, and destroyed the headpiece. In addition, evidence shows the defendant made statements to law enforcement and the public indicating he destroyed the property because of the victim's religion. I want to be the first one to stand up and congratulate this man.
Right.
So what they did was, because it was Christmas time, they were allowing you to come in and make decorations for Christmas.
On this altar?
No, anybody's religion.
Oh.
You could come into the Capitol, and a lot of people did Christmas trees with Jesus.
And then the devil worshiper did that?
And a satanic person came in and
Oh
made
my goodness.
This is the altar. This is the actual altar he destroyed. He took the head of the Baphomet and smashed it on the ground, and then took the burgundy part and shoved it over. And he admitted it. He said he did it.
For his religion.
He said that I am a Christian.
Period.
We should never be worshiping Satan.
Period.
Especially in a government building.
Period. And then wonder why this world is crazy.
And this is what the world has now become, where Satanists can go in open and freely. You don't have to hide no more, and put an altar up to Satan. And we're all supposed to just sit back and allow this to happen.
Yeah.
This Christian nation.
Yeah.
That was founded on Christian principles.
Yeah. It's some foolishness.
He was arrested.
And charged with a hate crime.
Charged with a felony.
A felony?
A hate crime is a felony.
That's crazy. That's sick.
A hate crime is a felony.
But it just goes to show the heart of America right now. And then wonder why America is always flooding out.
They can knock down our crosses.
Ooh, yeah.
They can
burn them. They've been burning
call
them for
us
years.
every name in the book. We're hypocrites. We're this, we're that. But when we stand up and we fight back, we're cuffed and arrested and charged with hate crimes.
Yep. Sounds about biblical to me. Sounds biblical to me.
Yep.
Yep. Thrown in prison. Wow, for standing up for Christ. Meanwhile, the whole music industry has made a mockery. Has made a mockery of Christ.
Yep.
And they worship this devil right here.
Yep.
This Baphomet devil.
Sure
with this gender reversal crap. This is what I told y'all. Satan gets glory out of all of that. The male and the female parts and the lady boys and all of this is the devil.
And don't think for 1 second that they are not doing this to break masculinity.
100%.
To take us over.
Yes.
This is to take your masculinity away. The more that they can do it is the less that'll fight back.
Yep. You know what's so funny? I think that this is the perfect time and opportunity to talk about what we've been watching. And how we have been watching a show on Netflix called Band of Brothers and also The Pacific. And they are both war shows. They're mini series. And it's talking about World War I.
Yes.
And in the mini series, I'm just astounded at the real men.
And this is in the 40s.
There is no foolishness. There is not a twitch or a switch in they walk, they pep, they step. No, none of that.
These are all your grandfathers.
100%. And you know what else too? I think that's why I watch football. I watch football because it's refreshing to watch men be men. Yes, get out there, go wrestle, go fight, go tackle each other, go be manly because I'm a woman. I don't want to sit up and see women playing football. What I want to see that for?
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Like, no, I like to watch men be men. It's refreshing. And it's not like she need to keep her eyes on her own husband sort of thing. It's not that. Like when you see and you go to Walmart and there's a man in there, he's 7 foot tall and he's wearing, his hair long like a girl. He's got breasts, but he's walking all manly. That's enough to do something mentally to your mind. You get what I'm saying? Like when you see what you think is a woman walking towards you and then they open up their mouth to hello. And it's like, bruh, why are you dressed like a woman right now? It's refreshing to see men be men.
And not only that, those
Like,
men, those were all men of faith. Every last one.
in Band of Brothers.
Yes.
Yeah. But I'm talking. Why you keep doing that? Making me lose my thought.
That
when you look around at all of this twitching and switching that these men are doing, these young boys are online twerking. What are we doing here? You get what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, let's watch football because there's so much foolishness going on. Do you get what I'm saying? And this Band of Brothers, it was just so refreshing to watch men be men. And let me tell you something. It's nothing more rewarding for me as a wife than seeing my husband do manly things. I'm talking about watching my husband change tires in 5 minutes, just like this. He could pop a tire on, throw that spare on. Like, there's nothing more refreshing than seeing my husband use his toolboxes and this and that, and get dirty, and not acting all cute with his fresh set of nails on. Like, who does that? Like, I'm over all of this foolishness. But anyways, if you get a chance, go watch Band of Brothers.
But let's go back.
Okay, let's go back.
You're not you deviated.
I did.
Yes.
Okay.
These men who, like I said, were your grandfathers, your great grandfathers. Now, why are you walking right in the middle of the tripod?
That's what I'm saying.
Dog?
Tell them to go.
These men knew they were going to die.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they didn't, they had themselves convinced they were going to die.
For a country.
And for 1 second, not one of them were sitting there telling you there is no God.
Not none of them.
Not for 1 second did any of them tell you that love is love. Now, these men were going to die and knew it and said, I am ready to go meet God. Before every mission, they were praying.
Yep.
Before they would go out, their commander would get up in front of them and say, listen, you might all be going to meet God today. Be prepared. And they would carry Bibles, and they were praying. These were man's men. There was nothing soft about not one of them. Their minds would break, but they would never lose their faith. That's where we've gotten to the point, and it's because these men that have feminine features have forced other men away from the church because they find it to be feminine now. They find God to be kind of gay. Let's be honest.
That's what they painted the picture as. Yep.
It's kind of gay. You singing about a guy and you love him, and it's just a little, and you don't.
Not even that. When you got the Prince and Tigerettes in there, just
and they
doing
dancing
all of that
around and stuff, like it's
real
gay.
Men don't want to go, right?
And so but back then it was a whole different time where men were praised for being men.
Absolutely, and that's when I was seeing that, I was astonished because I was thinking about all the war that went on in the Bible.
Yep.
That's what it was like with these men. The men in the Bible, they went to war, baby.
Yep.
It wasn't nothing tutti and fruity about them, like nothing. Yep. And now here we have little boys twerking online. Excuse me?
And again,
what?
These things are all pushed to our children
100%.
to do. They are all victims. They just don't realize it yet.
Right. Victims of this abuse. It's abuse to shove this evil content down these children's throats.
Let me ask you a question. Do you know what's going on TikTok in China?
No.
Let's Google this. Okay?
Oh my gosh.
You guys ready?
Let's go. Ooh, do I want to know? Oh my gosh. Am I about to get nauseous? That make me sick to my stomach. But anywho, the God of the Bible, the God of war, man, what? He wasn't recruiting no little soft little warriors.
Okay,
no.
You ready? According to a 2022 60 Minutes article, TikTok in China offers content for users under 14 years old that includes science experiments, museum exhibits, patriotism videos, and educational videos.
Wow.
Now, TikTok is a Chinese company.
It is.
And that's what their kids see.
So they're
compared to
poisoning
what
our kids.
our kids see.
They're poisoning our kids by pushing all of this gay content to our children.
Correct.
So that when it's time for war.
Correct.
It's they can't soften our U.S. kids. They can't twerk their way out of war.
Nope.
Okay, no. You can't go viral for twerking when it's time for war.
In addition, TikTok in China celebrates academic and athletic achievements. It also has a learning section for educational topics that users are interested in. Users under 14 can only use the app for 40 minutes a day. Users under 14 can't use the app from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. It's shut down to them.
Wow. That's amazing.
They censor pro-LGBTQ plus content and prohibits unhealthy and non-mainstream views on marriage and love.
What?
That's what their children see compared to what ours see.
And America is just letting this go.
Yep.
This is some foolishness.
Because we've sold out to them forever ago.
Yeah, and let me tell you this.
They own us.
So yesterday we went to an event, and it was a family gathering, right? And this little boy, he's there. He's 6 years old, and he's singing Krishan's song. What is that song?
I don't even know.
Something about Blueface. I think it was I'm Mr. Take her on a trip, sign your name on her.
Oh, I don't know.
He's singing that, and I'm like, hold up. Are you kidding me right now? Like, first of all, how do you know this words? Like, what's going on? And he learned it off TikTok.
Of course.
So you learning all of this foolishness. It's foolishness. You singing a song, and this lady ain't got no tooth. She just tatted Blueface again on her face. Like, and this is what you're exposing these kids to. And it's the parents' fault too. Yep. 100%. Because our children are not allowed on TikTok.
No.
At all.
No.
They barely allowed on YouTube.
Right.
Barely. Okay? By the skins of the teeth. And it's just, it's mind-boggling. Because this is what our young children, our young boys are exposed to. It's sad.
Yep. How you doing, Amelia?
Hi, Amelia. Oh my goodness, Amelia. How many times did I bring up Amelia? Watching that.
Amelia, we talked about you so much while we were watching that show.
So here I go. It's stuff happening. I'm like, oh my gosh. Do you think Amelia
has to go through that? I said, absolutely. She's talking about boot camp,
yep,
Amelia. I was like, absolutely she did.
Yes, having to run miles and miles. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Are they doing this to Amelia? Like, who do I need to go talk to?
No, for real. Amelia, you were brought up so much.
No, seriously. Who is the commanding officer? Like, and then I'm like, what is Amelia? I think Amelia is a sergeant, right?
Amelia, what are you? She's something.
Yeah, she told me and I done forgot. But anyways, yes. I was just like, oh my gosh, what's happening? But I just thought it was so cool. Band of Brothers. Wow. Yeah, amazing.
Listen, y'all.
Go watch it.
Yes, check that out.
The Pacific is another one. Very good. Extremely good. Yeah.
All right, y'all. This is it.
That's it. Thank you for coming and
listen.
Being a part of this TED Talk.
Let me ask everybody a question. Did you guys like the new format? Do you like how this went down?
We're going to get all the kinks and stuff out. We're going to iron out all the wrinkles.
We're still working on stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're
going to make sure that everything that the computer don't go out.
Right. Tripod falls over.
Oh my gosh, it did. The tripod done fell out, y'all.
Okay, everybody, our two regulars like it. Okay.
All right. Very good.
all the new people. I saw a bunch of new people.
You
Shout out to
did.
y'all.
Shout out
Yep.
to the new people. We're gonna do this. We're gonna keep this content going just like this. And if you want any specific topics, like if it's something in the news at that moment, we could just type it in. Don't be afraid to put it in the comments.
Yeah. Yep.
Don't be afraid. Oh wow. Don't be afraid to put it in the comments at what topics y'all want to talk about, because there's tons. I could go on and on.
Yeah, we could be here all night.
I mean, we could be here all night.
Just talking about pastor perverts. We
And
could
who
be
done got
literally.
arrested?
You know what we should do? We should do
A pastor pervert section.
yes, where we just
The pastor pervert
go
of the week.
gunning. Yep. Because you know what?
Pastor-
We need to. If people don't start holding these perverts accountable and start calling them out by name,
By name.
then it's just going to keep happening.
Yeah.
At least if they know there's somebody in the back of their mind where they're about to go do their dirt, where they're thinking, oh, I hope I don't get called out on this platform because it'll go all over, it'll go
Yep.
viral, people will
Yep.
know my face and my
Yep.
name, and I'll be embarrassed in my community.
Yep.
Maybe that would stop it.
Don't do it. Don't
Yeah.
do it.
Like look at Catch a
she's
Predator.
A sergeant.
Sergeant, yes.
See, I knew it. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is crazy.
Yeah, she was like, "You think Amelia had to go through this?" I'm like, "It's boot camp, babe. Everybody that's in the service has to go through it." Oh, yeah.
Crazy.
The only
So
nice thing
cool.
is that the one thing that I'm most happy about is at this moment, there's not anything like World War II going on where we got to worry about Amelia.
Oh my goodness.
Specifically for her safety every day.
Oh my goodness.
Because I don't think you could handle that.
I'm gonna have to fast.
Amelia, listen, you're gonna have to text me every 15 minutes and let me know you're okay.
That's me.
Because I can't sleep.
Amelia, you okay?
Right.
That's me.
Amelia, I'll row my boat to you. Hold on, I'll save you.
Listen, because one thing about it, I'm fasting.
Yep.
I'm fasting, period.
We'd be like, oh, we got colds, I'll fast.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Kids got the sniffles. You over here fasting while I'm pouring them medicine.
Shut up. What else was I gonna say? Okay, so pastor perverts of the week.
Yep.
We're gonna do that. I think we're also going to
listen. If y'all got any ideas, throw them out there.
Give out like a special shout out of the week, for somebody that's doing something positive.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're just gonna keep playing around with this until we get it right.
There's so much negative in the world right now, and so many people trying to push other people down to bring themselves up that, to call out somebody that's doing something productive
100%.
is a good idea.
100%. Yeah. So that's just what it is. And we're going to keep this going. We're going to have some different segments. I think it's pretty much a wrap for having people on the channel.
Yeah, they get on and don't know how to act afterwards.
Yeah. Because people don't be strong enough in their faith. And the enemy just comes in and just,
yep.
I mean, it's just like a whirlwind of nonsense.
Yep.
Yeah, so, yeah. That's what it is. That's what we're doing. I'm going to pray us out. Anything else, husband?
Nope.
Lord Heavenly Father, I thank you. I thank you for your grace. I thank you for your mercy. I thank you for your kindness, Father. I ask, Father God, that you will continue to just be exactly who you are, Lord. Father God, I pray that those who you have called and chosen and anointed to speak for you will speak boldly for you in this time, Father God. Father God, I pray that you will continue to just keep us separated from the things of this world, Father. Keep us under your covering. Keep us covered in your blood, Father God. I pray that you will protect us as we go and as we come, Lord. Protect our homes, protect our minds, cover us. Keep us from all hurt, harm, or danger. In Jesus' mighty, holy, and precious name, I ask these things. Amen. Yep, that's it. I love y'all. Hi, Kayla.
Y'all have a great start to your week.
Hi. Yep, have a great week. We'll be on tomorrow for Marriage Monday?
Yep, we'll come in tomorrow and
we come in with topics.
Yep.
Tomorrow is on. Yep, that's just what it is. All right. I love y'all.
All right, y'all.
God bless. I'm trying to exit and stop the live from this phone. But
I forgot
can't.
it's my job to stop it now. All right, y'all.
Thank you. I love y'all.